This is an amazing time for introductions. Okay, so this is the Backrooms podcast, the official Backrooms podcast, featuring myself, Pindead, our co-host Hylius, and uh, ex-writer for the Backrooms TS Wikidot, and ex-greenlighter, followed also by our two guests, Evie Holmes, a current greenlighter for the TS Wikidot and ex-staff member for the TS server. And then our final person is Aether, a greenlighter and staff of the TS Wikidot.
Hello.
How are you guys?
I'm doing just well today. I'm glad to be hosting for you.
I'm keeping all the rest of the argument. This is gonna be
I had to process
funny.
what just happened.
Okay, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do during the podcast. Hylia, so are you gonna do the game show?
I'm gonna do the game show tonight.
Oh, not the game. Hylius, not the. Is there anything else we can do? How much can I barter?
Nope, we're doing the game show tonight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Black Knights Jeopardy show. This evening, we will be featuring our contestants Aether48, Evie Holmes, and Pindead.
Shit.
Game show.
Shit.
Shit.
We're doing the game show.
I've never read anything Black Knights related. Please, I'm dead.
Perfect. You're going to be amazing at this podcast. Remember that during Jeopardy, all of your answers must come in the form of a question. And today
Hylius, really important question. Are we gonna have to show the game show like on the screen of the podcast?
Nope.
Okay, good. Okay, we can do this.
That's kind of the benefit of Jeopardy, is that all of the questions are vocally announced. So everybody will
I don't think that's how Jeopardy works.
No, it is.
That is exactly how Jeopardy works.
It goes on the screen and the host reads it as well.
And the host reads it out. So you can see over there, we have a couple different categories. The first category is I understood that reference. The second category is cut content. The third category is just for laughs. The fourth category is lore and more. And the fifth category is context clues. Now, I'd like you to remember, everybody, that the batches in Jeopardy come in sets of 200, 400, 600, 800, and 1,000 point questions. So remember that when you are participating, you will be earning points throughout the entirety. I am awarding points to the person who answers the question the best. So if you do not answer the question correctly, you have a chance to steal it. And if nobody answers it correctly, the person who comes the closest or says the funniest answer will be the winner of the points there. So it doesn't matter if you know the answer to the question or not. Please do your best to answer. Can we have some introductions from the contestants? Pindead, please introduce yourself. Pindead, please introduce yourself. Pindead, please introduce yourself. Aether, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Aether48. I am the youngest and lamest staff member of the Backrooms Wikidot. I've written a bunch of pages, and I've like 25 or so. You should go check them out, I guess.
And how much experience do you have with Black Knights?
Oh man, okay. I skimmed a few articles. I'm under the impression I've been told that a lot of it has to do with an exit to the backroom, so I've never been very enthusiastic about it, to be honest. But I mean, I'm sure it's great.
Evie, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Evie. Later, in TS. Should be a staff member until I got booted. Development for that later. My experience
Right on.
with
I always
Black
like to invite an ex-member of staff onto the chat. What is your experience with Black Knights?
A little bit of experience. I've read through a few of the articles. Never really got into the ARG of it because brain for that, but I do love the content, and I do love that one Russian character. Was she Russian?
Good! Snowy, would you like to introduce yourself for this evening?
Hi. I'm Snowy. I wrote Entity 666, and I like drug. I'm just playing, but
And what's your
I
experience
like
with
to
Black
write.
Knights?
Don't know a lot. I know a little bit of the iceberg, but not a whole ton.
Good! Now, I'd like to let you all know that dangerously, my father has offered me an alcoholic beverage during this, so we could get messy.
Are stuff? Are you supposed? Are you allowed to be drinking alcohol?
I'm 21 years of age.
No, but you're on set.
Ancient.
There is no set. I'm in my closet.
Fair enough.
That's how we're running this. Okay. I will defer the first question to the person who showed up first for this. That was Snowy. Snowy, would you like to pick a category from above? Snowy.
Let me find it. Hold on. Just for laughs, 100
And
or 200.
Just for laughs 200. Let me go ahead and read that out for you. Just for laughs 200 is the Black Knights use a technique to run comparable to that shown in this animation.
Oh shoot. The cartoon character running.
I'm sorry, that's not the answer we're looking for. Would anybody like to steal?
I would.
Aether, what is the answer to the question, the Black Knights use a technique to run comparable to that shown in this animation?
What is Naruto?
That is correct, Aether. The Black Knights do use a technique that is comparable to the Naruto run from that form of animation.
Yo.
Alrighty, Aether, as you have won that point, you get to pick the next question, and I would like to award you 200 points.
I'll take cut content for 200.
Alrighty, cut content for 200. These members of Hylius Industries, the organization behind the Knights, were discussed in the text but cut from the plot at large due to time constraints.
Oh, are you looking for names? Or...
I'm looking for these members of Hylius Industries, the organization behind the Knights, were discussed in the text but cut from the plot at large due to time constraints. This is a faction, to be clear. This is not individual names.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Okay,
Your
Yeah,
time
no,
is coming to a close.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything. I don't know this. Sorry.
Would anybody like to come in for a steal?
I can try.
I'll give it a try.
Evie, come in for the
What was the
steal.
question?
Evie did ask for the steal first, so I'm going to start with Evie, and then you may come in with an answer to the question afterwards. The question was, these members of Hylius Industries, the organization behind the Knights, were discussed in the text but cut from the plot at large due to time constraints.
Is Yutsu?
It is not Yuutsu, but I will give proper credit because, in theory, that answer also fulfills the question. Snowy, if you have a better chance at stealing, you can try.
Nah, I was gonna say the same as Evie Holmes.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So, Evie, you do in fact take the points, but I was discussing the technicians, who are the people who do repairs on the Knight suits and make their equipment.
You know what?
Unfortunately, they were also removed from the text due to time constraints. However, I would say that it is a little less accurate because the Yuitsu Corporation was planned on being featured in the future, where the technicians were not.
It should
Evie,
be
as the
Toyota.
person who gets the points from that question, you get to choose the next answer. Would you like to make a request?
Let's go just for laughs 400.
After beginning to comprehend his humanity, Knight 783 chooses these as his pronouns.
Right,
Uh-oh.
let's just fucking whatever. Let's go with what is he him?
Evie, I'm sorry, that was not entirely accurate. Pretty close, though. Would anybody like to come in with a steal?
Me.
Snowy, what is, after beginning to comprehend his humanity, Knight 783 chooses these as his pronouns?
They, them.
I'm very sorry. That was very close, but unfortunately it was also not correct. Aether, would you like to come in with the steal here?
I'm not sure.
I'd like to remind you that the category is just for laughs.
Yeah. What is knights?
I'm sorry,
Let's
Aether,
just-
that was fully incorrect.
Yeah, I
So,
figured.
unfortunately, as Evie and Snowy got the answer both half correct, but Evie answered first, I'm going to have to give the points to her. The knights' chosen pronouns were he, they, to which Diana reminds them that she's finally copped a he, they.
I don't get it.
It's a meme. But finally copped me a he, they.
Holy shit, this is awkward as fuck. I'm back, by the way.
It's a meme.
Pin, get out of here.
You
You
dip?
ditched us.
Pin, you're not on the podcast. We kicked you off.
I'm not.
We're
Oh, I
banned.
can
I'm
leave.
sorry.
I can leave. Actually.
Yeah, get out.
Oh, finally freedom.
What is going on with that guy? We'll probably even cut out that question. Alrighty, Evie, as you theoretically got the points for that answer, you now have the next question to ask.
Context clues 200.
Context clues for 200. This ongoing event let readers get a little bit more information about the series by solving a set of puzzles hidden in each tale.
No, I don't got this one.
I'm sorry, Evie. I'm going to have to give it up to other contestants to answer the question. Would anybody like to steal? Snowy, would you like to answer the question? This ongoing event let readers get a little more information about the series by solving a set of puzzles hidden in each tale.
Black Knight ARG.
Snowy, that is absolutely correct. Thank you for submitting your answer, and that puts you at 200 points. You're now tied with Aether.
You didn't phrase it as a question.
He did.
Wait, what? No,
Yeah, I put a question mark at the end of my question.
Did you really?
I thought he said what is. I heard what is.
It doesn't matter, so but
okay.
I've
the
got
editor's
my
gonna
eye
have
on
a
you.
lot to cut out this time. Snowy, as the winner of those points, you get to pick the next category and point value.
Alright, I'm gonna be a high baller, alright? Just for laughs, 800.
Just for laughs, 800. Alongside the Red Knight representing war and Nostalgia Gaius representing art, it has been suggested Blanche might represent this archetype.
Mom.
Snowy, that answer is completely correct. It was suggested that Blanche might represent the MILF archetype.
No! Why?
As a reminder, this category is just for laughs. Snowy, that does bring you up to 1,000 total points.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Why? Why would you do that?
That's foul. No.
I do this continually, specifically to spite Snom. Specifically to spite
I can tell.
Rule.
I'm telling.
I'm
I'm
Portuguese.
Sweep right at 3 a.m.
Crap.
Snowy,
Okay.
I'd like to let you know that because you won that point, you get to choose the next question and point value.
I bet. Just for laughs, 600.
Just for laughs 600. Looks like we're trying to clear out this category, folks. Just for laughs 600 is when attempting to find the most, quote, cool, unquote, narrative concept to fight Diana, the main villain suggests the work of these fucking things.
Oh shoot. I remember. I think. It a Glumbus?
I'm sorry, a Glumbus is not correct.
Oh man.
Would you like me to repeat the question? Hello.
No.
No, okay, let me defer the question to anybody who'd like to steal Aether, Evie.
What is lightsabers?
I will give you the points if Evie
Oh,
cannot
no.
find a better solution, because that was brought up in the exact same story.
Oh, wow, okay.
Now that you know what we might be going for, Evie, do you think you might be able to come up with a steal for this?
Let me guess.
Going once? Going twice? Hello? Anything from Evie? And Evie's microphone has died. While Evie tries to get that back online, I will give the points to Aether, because lightsabers was the closest thing to fucking ninjas. In the text, Dr. Mantell suggested that according to mostawesomething.ever.com, which Hoffman suggests is also not an authoritative source, ninjas are the 38th most awesome thing of all time, and therefore might be successful against Diana.
Okay.
So, Aether, that brings you up to a total of 600 points. Let me see the thing. No, that brings you up to a total of 800 points, Aether, and it
That doesn't...
also gives you a chance to ask a question.
Okay. Doesn't seem like I should have won that, but I'll take it, I guess.
It also does mention using lightsabers in the same paragraph.
Yeah. I'll take... I understood that reference for 600.
Alrighty. The rune's reading, quote, "You're still in a dream," end quote, displayed while Diana climbs an incredibly long ladder, is a reference to this game, first released on the PlayStation 2.
Oh. Oh, God. What is... Psychonauts? Was that on PlayStation 2? I'm not sure.
Unfortunately, that was not the correct game. Psychonauts may have been on PlayStation 2, but that was not the game I was thinking of. Evie, would you like to come in with a steal there?
Could you do the question, please?
I can, in fact, repeat the question. This question goes something along the lines of, the rune's reading, quote, "You're still in a dream," end quote, displayed while Diana climbs an incredibly long ladder, is a reference to this game, first released on the PlayStation 2.
Got an answer for you.
Unfortunately, I did not get an answer from anybody, so I won't be able to assign any points. However, I will reveal that the answer to that question was Metal Gear Solid 3. It is a reference to a cutscene in Metal Gear Solid 3 in which a song plays featuring the lyrics, "You're still in a dream," while Snake, the protagonist of that game, climbs an incredibly long ladder. So, those points did not go to anybody, but that does mean that Aether gets to ask the next question.
I'll take context clues for 400.
Context clues for 400.
Yep.
Black Knights has had this many authors contribute a piece of writing to its canon on the website as of the time of this game.
Oh my. What is 3? Man.
Aether, that is precisely correct.
Oh.
As of this game, there are 3 writers have contributed an authorship to the canon.
Oh wow.
Let me go ahead and answer that
Okay.
question, and that gives you an additional 400 points.
I don't know how I'm doing this. I just keep guessing.
For reference, that author includes me, user Sarius Stuff, and user Snobwriting, because Snobwriting contributed to the canon as well. It seems like we might have a surprise contestant joining us. Retief, would you like to introduce yourself?
What's your name?
Retief?
No.
Retief. Retief, I'm unfortunately obligated to let you know that if you are not participating in the game show, I'm going to have to kick you from the chat. Is that okay
Is
with
it
you?
actually pronounced like that?
It is pronounced Retief.
No, it is not.
It's absolutely pronounced Retief, and we've had several arguments about this, which culminated in I was correct about the pronunciation of your name. He's so upset he left. That proves that I'm absolutely correct. Right on. Since you have successfully completed the answer to context clues for 400, Aether, you get to pick another question.
All right. Can you tell me how many more options there are in the Just for Laughs category?
The 1,000 points question is still available.
Oh god, okay. I'll never mind. I'll take. I understood that reference for 400.
I understood that reference for 400. The main villain in Black Knights is named after this 1997 album by Rammstein.
Oh.
Vote now on your phones. God, this is supposed to be a lemon drop, but it's entirely lemon juice. And I'm dying over here.
Don't die.
Man.
You're kind of the host. We need you
Hold
alive.
on. It's.
Aether, I'm not hearing an answer for you. I may
know.
provide Evie
Yeah, okay.
an opportunity to steal.
Yeah, okay. My best guess is Diana, just because that's. I don't know. That's not the villain, is it though?
Villain.
Unfortunately, that is
villain.
not the name of the villain of the franchise, so I have to provide Evie an opportunity to steal.
Of course.
Evie, would you like me to reread the question?
Sure. I don't think I could answer it anyway.
Right on. The question is, the main villain in Black Knights is named after this 1997 album by Rammstein.
We should have studied for this.
My god.
I might run the recording with someone who knows more about it. That was the intention, and then you guys joined. And I was like, okay.
Sorry, we're not enough.
I'm not mad about it. Evie, any answers? Remember that Rammstein is a German band.
Pronounced Sensucht.
Evie, that answer is entirely correct. The main villain in Black Knights is named Sensucht after the 1997 album by Rammstein. That knocks that question off the board and gives you an additional 400 points. Thank you for contributing your answer. Evie, that does happen to leave you with a question to pick on the board.
100 for Lauren Moore.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear the number.
400.
400 for lore and more, and you've activated our daily double, which means this points are worth twice as much. The question here is, the Black Knight's timeline is split into these two sections. Evie, the question is for you.
Can you repeat the question, please?
I'm going to repeat the question for you. The question is as follows. The Black Knight's timeline is split into these two sections. Evie, would you like me to give it up for a steal for Aether? Hello? Evie? And Evie has left us, which means, Aether, I'm going to ask you the question instead. Aether, do you have any idea what the Black Knight's timeline is split into these two sections?
Oh my, I do not. Let's... Is it something adjacent to... pacifist and genocide? Let's just go with that. I know it's not right, but it seems stereotypical.
The idea is there, but unfortunately that is not close enough to the real answer, which is...
Let me steal this.
Pindead!
Let me steal
Whoa! Coming from the back with a steel chair, Pindead comes into chat!
Light and dark timelines. Light and dark timelines.
And there it is. Pindead does steal a couple points away.
Seriously?
And that was the daily double, leading Pindead in with 800 points. That is correct. The timelines are the light and dark timeline.
You couldn't have picked a better name for that.
No.
I could have picked a better name for what?
You could have named the timelines anything else, and you chose dark and light.
I know, I was going for stereotype.
Alright.
Right on. Pindead, that does leave you the question holder, and you get to pick the next question and point value.
Can I take cut content 500 if that's still available?
I'm sorry, there is no 500 category. There is a 400, 600, 800, and 1000.
I didn't know it went up that high. I'll take 1000.
Cut content for 1000. Black Knights were originally going to be this type of cryptid before settling on humans.
What the fuck? Cryptid is really specific rating. You live in California,
I
which
do live in
has
California.
a lot
Yeah.
of Filipino influence, which is main immigration. Maybe
Sure.
I'm guessing maybe a Filipino mythical creature. That could be a good guess. But I'm also thinking really into shape shifting, because I feel like that would be very easy to write about.
Perhaps it would.
Final answer is gonna be the Wendigo.
I'm sorry, Pindead. Unfortunately, that is not the answer to this question. Aether, would you like to come in perhaps with a steal? For Black Knights were originally going to be this type of cryptid before settling on humans.
What is Chupacabra?
I'm very sorry. Unfortunately, that answer is also incorrect. I hate to let you know that the proper answer is that Black Knights were originally going to be aliens before settling on humans.
Wait,
What?
just plain aliens? Does that even count as a cryptid? It's not.
That's not a cryptid.
I would have accepted gray aliens.
Gray. You would have accepted as that's even worse. Little gray.
Grays are a
from
type of
Mars.
cryptid.
Wait,
I'm gonna give you both 500 points because you had the idea correct.
No, we definitely didn't.
What the fuck?
We had nothing about the idea correct, please.
Okay, well, you're both getting 500 points whether or not you like it. Or because the nobody answered the question correctly, it defaults back to the person who started, which was Pindead.
Oh, if I just do one that Aether doesn't know, I can just keep farming for me. Okay.
Bro.
Which categories are left?
So we have the entirety of lore and more. We have the last three for context clues. We have the last answer for just for laughs. And we have 200, 800, and 1,000 from understood that reference. Cut content also has the 400 and 600 and 800 categories.
I think I'll be taking 800 for cut content since, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
800 for cut content. Black Knights establishes connections to writing on this other Wikidot site, which began as an
SCP.
earnest attempt at a crossover, but have since been relegated to a passing reference.
SCP.
That is correct, Pindead. I will admit Black Knights established connections to writing on the SCP Wiki, which began as an earnest attempt at a crossover, but has since been relegated to a passing reference. That nets you 800 points, Pindead.
I'm forming points. I'm just going to keep going for the easy ones. I'll take 600 for cut content.
600 for cut content. Alrighty. The question 600 for cut content is a daily double, which means you will be receiving 1,200 points if you answer this question correctly. Diana is allergic to this commonly found substance in the Backrooms, which could have been relevant to the plot earlier in drafts.
What is almond water?
Pindead, I am unfortunately going to have to let you know that you are correct. And you have won that question, meaning you have 1,200 points added to your total, bringing you to, might I add, 3,300 points.
Oh, I'll be taking cut
Oh my
content for
God.
400.
Alrighty,
By the
and that
way-
is the last. Go ahead.
Sorry, just Retief apparently wanted me to say that Pin, apparently you're gay. I don't
I'm
know
not
what that
gay.
means.
Yes, I'd like to congratulate Aether on correctly answering the question, netting Aether 1,000 correct points. Pindead
What?
is in
What?
fact gay.
No.
Aether, that does bring you within 1,000 points of Pindead.
Okay, no, I'm taking cut content. Give me cut content. Watch me catch back up.
Got you covered. You are clearing out the category of cut content with the question that goes as follows. This function of the Black Knight's armor was shown to briefly affect Diana during the first 3 chapters, but wasn't ever shown again.
You said body point, correct?
This function of the Black Knight's armor was shown to briefly affect Diana during the first 3 chapters, but wasn't ever shown again.
Is it the ability to... Is it the ability to be able to speak runic?
Unfortunately, Pindead, that is not correct, so I'm going to have to pass off a steal attempt to Aether48.
Okay, let's see.
I'll read the question once more for you. This function of the Black Knight's armor was shown to briefly affect Diana during the first 3 chapters, but wasn't ever shown again.
What is built-in X-ray? Something?
Aether, I am unfortunately liable to tell you that that is not correct.
Yeah.
The Knight's armor has not featured a built-in X-ray, and while it did technically feature the ability to translate runes, that is not cut content, that is lore and more, which means I am unable to offer the points to anybody. The true answer to this is mind control. During the first 3 chapters of Black Knights, Diana was shown to be mind controlled by the armor, at least in part. And go ahead.
No, nothing. I'm just a little confused.
Right on. The armor was shown to be mind controlling her to a significant degree before it was released by a monarch and never referenced again.
That's crazy.
does-
What the fuck?
Default us back to Pindead.
Yes, I can just farm. Is there an 1,000 for lore?
There is 1,000 for lore.
I'll take that.
Right on. The question is as follows. The model of the Backrooms that the Black Knights operates on is based on the works of this famous Swiss psychiatrist who was friends with Sigmund Freud.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Is it? Oh, I know the guy you're talking about. Um, it's
Oh, unfortunately, knowing the answer isn't going to be able to help you here unless you can speak the name.
um, his name. I've watched many YouTube documentaries. Could I get a phone a friend for just 1 second?
All right, and
This
who are you
isn't-
phoning?
The YouTube app.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to let you check your phone. If you wanted to ask someone personally, I would allow that.
Okay.
Since when does
We
this
have to be a
place-
little bit fair here.
It is. Oh, I know his name. I'll just give this one up. Oh, dang it, dude.
Aether, is there any chance that you'd like to steal this question?
Nope. Not really. I got nothing for this.
Alrighty, I will allow Pindead to do his search, as that is the closest thing to getting this answer correct that we can receive.
Wait. Give me just 1 second.
Just 1 sec. In that time, I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Wiki.search bar, which doesn't fucking work. If you'd like the Wiki.search bar to fucking work, please contact your nearest scudge maker. You might know them as Cut the Birch. They are currently working on a way to fix the Wiki.'s shitty-ass search engine. If you'd like to support their project, please Venmo Cut the Birch. And you can find their Venmo in the description of this video. Please ignore the fact that that says Hylius on it. I will absolutely be giving him all of the money from that proceed. Thank you to our supporters, the Wiki.search bar. Pindead, are you ready for your question?
If I spent 5 more minutes, I'd be able to get it. I'll say judo rice.
Pindead, unfortunately, the correct answer is not judo rice. And as
Is
that
it
was
Coral?
absolutely nowhere near close, I'm unable to offer you any points. The answer to that question is Carl Jung.
I knew it!
Carl Jung, physicist, and
Oh
he
my
was
god, I knew it!
Swiss.
I said it at the last second too. Holy shit!
Yeah,
And
you did.
Carl Jung was responsible for a Jungian model of the Platonic mind, which indicated that there may be a network latent between all humans, which runs a simulation of our current reality, and that there is the Backrooms model that the Black Knights operates on. Unfortunately, as nobody was able to answer any question, Pindead is now going to pick up another attempt to steal a question.
The next one for Lloyd was 800, right?
That is correct.
I'll be taking that.
Alrighty. This question is, this device used by Hylius Industries began as a simple way for humans to interface with computers, and later became the method of transport used by knights and other members of staff to enter and exit the backrooms at will.
Wow. I think I'm gonna have to go with I don't know on this one. Dang, that's a hard one.
I'm very sorry, Pindead. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to offer that question up to Aether for the steal. Aether, would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Got you covered. This device, used by Hylius Industries, if you recall from the previous question, Hylius Industries are the people behind the Black Knights, began as a simple way for humans to interface with computers, but later became the method of transport used by knights and other members of staff to enter and exit the backrooms.
God, I think I remember something that might match that description, but I don't think it's.
I will take a brief description if not a proper name.
Oh man, okay. I don't know. There was something. Something happened to there was this weird brain in a jar. Did something and transport people like that could. That seems like it would do it, but I don't. Man.
Aether,
Hey.
I have to say, You are entirely correct. The brain in a jar
Oh.
device is called a helm.
Oh.
And helm is an acronym for something that I absolutely cannot remember at the time, but it reminds you of a device that you might wear on a head, like a VR headset, and it allows people to transport inside and outside of Backrooms,
Just
if you
quick
remember.
question. Does it stand for Hemrit Industries Ego Manipulation?
Something like that. I believe it starts with Heimweimut, but it has something to do with encephalographic, which is the
Oh, what the
terminology that people use to refer to brain scans.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Either I
oops.
am, in fact, giving you that points for that. That is 800 points in Lore and More because you successfully described the exact device, if not the name of it precisely. That brings you up from 2,300 points to, if it's not 2,300 plus 800, that is 3,100 points. Got you covered. Aether, since you successfully answered that question, you get to pick from the remaining.
Okay, I'll take Lauren Moore for just 200. Just 200.
Just 200. That question is, Jonathan Mantell is the real name of this prominent character in Black Knights.
I believe I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, what is the president or CEO or something of Heimlema Industries?
I will give you the points if Pindead cannot be more specific than you have been.
Oh boy. Hylius, before I answer, I'd just like to ask, how many points is this going for?
200 points.
Well, consider those 200 points mine, because it is censured.
That is correct. Jonathan Mantell is the real name of this prominent character named Sensukt in Black Knights. He's the main villain of the series.
Damn it.
Let's go, baby.
I am so sorry, Aether. I think I might actually give you 100 pity points just because you did technically get the answer correct. However,
Great,
he had a
pity
more
points.
proper name there as well. Aether, that brings you up to 3,200. Pindead, you are now at 3,500.
Dang, okay. Next I'll go for... There's only one left for the funnies, right?
That is correct. It is the 1,000 block.
Ooh, I think I'll take that. I'm a very funny guy.
Actually, I think we've already answered that question.
Nope.
Nope. No, we have not. Do you want
Yes.
to take it?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Just for laughs, 1,000. If familiar with human customs, Natasha might consider this animal her persona.
Bear.
Unfortunately, Pindead, I have to let you know that you are correct, and Natasha would consider, if familiar with human customs, a bear her persona. That ends
It's
up
too easy.
delivering you 1,000 points, bringing you up to 4,500. In a passing mention, she does in fact skin a bear and wear its skin and remarks that it feels mildly comfortable to her, to which Diana remarks a bear might be her persona.
This is...
Wonderful.
What 1,000s are left?
The 1,000s that are left are, I understood that reference, and context clues. There are only, as of this speech right here, 7 questions we have not asked.
I'll take the reference, even though I'm gonna get that one wrong.
Got you covered. Let me uncover that for you. The crew, that is to say Diana, Natasha, and Knight 783, use this device, so named after a famous gag among engineers, to do whatever they'd like to do to advance the plot, namely time travel.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about because it was the basis of my currently unreleased Black Knight's Tale, Lingus Mortis. Oh, if
That is
Aether doesn't give
correct.
if Aether doesn't get it correct, I'll look at that tale, but I'll give it to Aether.
Got you covered. Aether, would you like to take a stab at answering the question?
What is a wrench? As in, just hit it with a wrench until it works.
Aether, unfortunately, that is not quite correct. However, I will give you the points if Pindead cannot produce the exact proper name of the device.
Now, Hylius, I think you underestimate me, because I'm actually, I've taken classes in engineering. Now I'm taking a dive into robotics, and I've actually heard this mentioned quite a few times. It is the Inscrutator.
Pindead, unfortunately, that is not the name of the device.
Huh?
And I'm going to have to give it to Aether48 for understanding the basis of the joke, if not the specific name.
All right. Pin, what? The unscrew you labator? What
It was
is
an
that?
Insculator. That's definitely the name, because that's in the tale. What's the actual name?
Could you type that in chat just so that I can try to figure out what the fuck you're saying? Because there's a possibility that you are mispronouncing it.
Uh-oh.
Pindead, I can tell from the horrible spelling of that you absolutely know what the fuck you mean. However, you are mispronouncing it incredibly, and I'll say that for you right now. The device in question is the Turbo Encabulator.
No, I did not
Turbo
know that. What the fuck is that?
Encabulator.
Insaculator. What the heck is an insaculator?
What is
That's
an
not an encabulator.
insaculator? I can tell from looking at what he's written that is what he means, but definitely that is absolutely not what it is. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give those points to Aether for getting the
Aether.
proper point of the joke, if not the exact verbiage. That brings Aether up to 4,200 points and Pindead to 4,500. I have to say, though, that does mean, Aether, you have the option to pick
I'd like to take context clues for 600.
context clues for 600. Let me unblack that category. Black Knights is famous for successfully breaking this typical rule of writing for the Backrooms.
Yeah. This is I think I know it. It's that the rule it breaks is that people are allowed to exit and enter the backrooms at will.
Aether, unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you know that you are absolutely correct, and that is precisely the rule that they break.
It's like the only thing I know about the series.
I thought it was fight scenes.
I was so glad because you did mention that earlier, and I was like, I really hope that that question comes up when Aether is available to answer. Yes, it successfully breaks that rule, in my opinion, because most people who end up reading that instead of criticizing it from afar end up appreciating how it's done. Aether, by successfully grabbing that question, that puts you into the lead with 4,800 points. And you get to snag the next question.
Aether 4,800. All right.
That's true.
What is? I understood that reference for 200.
Let me reveal that question. This character from Monty Python's The Holy Grail inspired the likeness of the Black Knights.
What is? I am a fan of Monty Python Holy Grail. I don't know his real name, but
I do not believe the character has a real name.
Oh, interesting. So,
I don't believe he's ever named.
Yeah, because I can give you a very detailed description of this guy. This knight, guards.
Well, he has a title.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't know. I don't know the title. He's the guy who says it's just a flesh wound.
Yes, he is the guy who says it's just a flesh wound. And
Pin,
unfortunately,
you
I
do
might
better.
have to toss up the question to Pin if he can give us the credited name of the character.
I'm gonna be honest, Hylius. I have not a single fucking clue what his name is.
Uh-oh.
His
All
buttocks
right.
stretch.
The character's name, as credited in the credits of Monty Python's The Holy Grail, is the Black Knight.
Bro.
Which
is
is why that answer is placed at 200. There's a character in Monty Python's The Holy Grail named the Black Knight that inspired the likeness of the Black Knights.
Come here. I'll bite your ankles off.
So, it is 200 more points for Aether, which brings you to a very round 5,000 points. Aether, that means you have another question to pick.
Alright, I'll take context clues for 1,000.
Context clues for 1,000, going right off the deep end.
Yeah.
This question is as follows. Black Knights started as vaguely as possible to convince readers to read for this reason.
I mean, to figure out what it all meant. Like, I don't know how else to answer that. Just people wanted to find out what the tale was actually talking about, what any of the words meant.
That is not precisely the answer I am looking for.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will repeat the question to Pindad, and if neither of you, if Pindad cannot get it, I will give you another chance to steal it once you have a chance to hear the question again. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Pindad, the question is, Black Knights started as vaguely as possible to convince readers to read for this reason.
This is possibly the most open-ended question I think we've gotten here. There's so many
which is
different
why it
things.
sits at 1,000.
This is for context cues. I'm gonna say,
which is context of the series outside the work.
Because he didn't want to introduce an entrance to the entrance and exit to the backrooms too early, so that people wouldn't like just read that off the bat and then be disinterested.
So in theory, that is a little bit more correct, which means I'm liable to give the points to you if Evie cannot find the more specific answer.
That's not Evie. Evie's still gone.
Oh, Evie is gone?
Yeah,
okay,
they left.
I guess we're doing Aether.
For like...
Or Danksky could answer the question too.
Dank, can you talk?
Apparently, Danksky cannot talk, so Aether, if you cannot answer the question, I'm going to have to unfortunately pass that off to Pindad.
Hello? Oh, yay, my microphone's working.
All right, there's Danksky joining in the middle of the podcast.
Only took an hour and a half.
Danksky, you have an opportunity to steal this question. Would you like to hear it?
Sure, I have no idea what's going on, but hit me with it.
Right on. This is the category context clues for the maximum point value 1,000. The question is, Black Knights started as vaguely as possible to convince readers to read for this reason.
Suspense?
Unfortunately, that is not the answer I'm looking for, so I will give it to the most specific answer I've received so far, which is that I did not want to reveal too much information about where I was taking the franchise. However, the most correct interpretation of this question is because the kids on the Backrooms wiki love vague paramilitary groups, and the vaguer they are, the more interesting they find them.
Nobody's gonna get that.
So, Pindad, you will get half of the value of those questions, which means you are given a bonus of 500 points, bringing you exactly tied with Aether for 5,000.
Hylius, how many points do I have currently?
0, 0, 0, 0.
Danksky, unfortunately, you have no points. However, because Evie and Snowy have left, and they have taken some points off the board. I am going to start you off with 2,000 points, which is the points that they accumulated therein.
I mean, I don't think you can get another
No, you can't.
3,000 points anyways.
Okay. What categories are left?
Pindead? Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. There are only 3 questions left. That is an 800 for both I understood that reference and context clues. And there is a 600 for lore and more.
I shall be taking lore and more for 600.
Got you covered. Pindead. A Svartalbrander is the proper name of this piece of a Black Knight's equipment.
Is it? I have 2 things in mind right now. The glove, first off, which I think is incorrect. Second off, the swords that they use to teleport. So I will be saying the sword.
Unfortunately, Pindead, that is entirely correct. A Svartalbrander is the proper name of a sword that a Black Knight has in his equipment. That brings you up to 5,600 points.
Now, next, I think I'll be taking I understood that reference for 800 points.
Gotcha covered. I understood that reference for 800 points. Diana and Natasha engage in this style of combat in Night of Fire, a reference to part 2 of Hirohiko Araki's manga, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh no. I've never watched JoJo's a day in my life.
Keep in mind that this is in references, so this is a JoJo's reference.
Oh fuck.
I've read all of the manga. This is
This
hilarious.
isn't fair. Okay, I'm gonna go off the deep end with this one, and I'm gonna say love style of combat.
Pindead, unfortunately, that style of combat is not the one used by Natasha and Diana in Night of Fire. Would anybody like to steal?
What is Aikido?
That is far closer, Aether, and I will be willing to give you the point if it is not stolen by Danksky, who did mention that they may have seen extra parts of JoJo's. Danksky, the question in question is, Diana and Natasha engage in this style of combat in Night of Fire, a reference to part 2 of Hirohiko Araki's manga, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Part 2.
Specifically, part 2. Not talking about part 1, not talking about part 3.
I know.
Specifically, part 2.
Battle tendency.
If you recall,
fighting styles.
In Night of Fire, they are challenged to a match by Natasha in which they take their vehicles and ride
Oh,
around.
isn't that like the reference to the chariot thing that Joseph Joestar had with frickin' I want to say like Wamu or something?
Danksky,
the wind guy.
Unfortunately, you are entirely correct. It is a direct reference to a style of combat called a one-on-one chariot match, which was featured in Hirohiko Araki's manga JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which brings you up to 2,800 points, and you get to ask the next question. The only question left is context clues for 800, so I'm simply going to read it out for you. Are you ready?
I'm gonna have no idea what it is because I only know JoJo, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope, this is a category called context clues. It has nothing to do with references. Are you still with me?
All right. Yep.
This form of media almost did and still could receive an adaptation of Black Knights, courtesy user Soydeans. I will repeat the question. This form of media almost received an adaptation of Black Knights, created by Soydeans.
Dank, would you mind if I take an answer?
Sure.
Now listen,
Pindead, I'm
Hylius.
going to have to offer you a steal. What do you think the answer to the question, this form of media almost received an adaptation of Black Knights created by Soybeans.
Hylius, you and me, we've known each other for many years. We met in a
We've
bar
known each other for a lot of years.
in Tokyo, Japan, where
Thanks for the
I met you in Tokyo, Japan.
Where we were
We went
talking.
out for takoyami. It was very delicious.
And
We
after we
enjoyed our
went out,
day.
Hylius, for Takayami, what did we see?
I don't remember. Do you want to enlighten me?
It was the beautiful three suns that not three suns. I mean the beautiful birds carrying letters across Japan, and one of them dropped a letter. I opened it and I read it, and out loud I said, "A comic, Hylius. It is a comic."
You know what, Pindead? I thought you knew me better. I'm awful disappointed in you because the answer, a comic, is entirely correct. The
Let's
form
go
of media that
next.
Black Knights almost received was a comic created by Soybeans that is still in production but has been on hiatus for several months as of the recording of this video, which means your answer is correct and you receive 800 points, bringing you up to 6,400. And that means that, unfortunately for Aether and Danksuki, you are the winner of this Jeopardy match. Thank you, Pindead, for coming on the podcast this week. I appreciate you hosting, and your earnings are you get to live. Unfortunately,
Wait.
Aether and Danksuki, that means you must perish. So, after the recording of this show, I'm going to have to end the lives of both of you unceremoniously and in a particularly violent fashion. You did sign the waiver on the way in, which means, unfortunately, there is no backing out now, and you will be executed live on camera for all of those watching the video podcast. Thank you to everybody at home for coming out to the Black Knights Jeopardy match. I hope some of you learned a little bit something. I hope some of you were encouraged to read the series, and I hope all of you found the answers from tonight particularly enlightening and humorous. My name is Hylius, and I'd like to wish you all a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, and or evening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Poopy butt.